My beloved child, I am your God, your Father, who watches each step you take, every breath you draw, and those quiet glances you cast toward the horizon in your most weary moments. Today I come to speak to you not in thunder or lightning, but in the gentlest whisper your heart needs to hear. There is something important you must know, something that cannot be lost amid the many noises of this life. Yesterday I sent you a sign. It did not arrive on a strong wind or through great upheaval, but as a quiet beam of light, a brief message that appeared on your phone screen. I placed it right before your eyes, hoping you would pause, take notice, and open your heart. Yet I know how easily you are swept into busyness, pressed by responsibilities that weigh upon your shoulders, and tugged by feelings you have not even had time to name. I know you did not ignore me on purpose. Your heart has simply been pulled in many directions, and your eyes have not yet learned to recognize the holy among what appears ordinary. I have not come to reproach you or to make you feel guilty, for I am not a father who grows angry because you turned away for a moment. I come to remind you that every sign from me carries love, a tender nudge, and the quiet providence only a loving father offers his child. Often the most important things do not arrive with fanfare. They come like the secret dew of morning, like a gentle touch upon a tired soul, like a whisper precisely when your mind seems to have no room left to listen. Remember this: when I send a sign, it is not because I need you, but because you need me, and because I love you too much to be silent when you are on the verge of missing a blessing. Life can dull the sacred signals with the noise of duty, comparison, and heavy expectations. But child, do not let your heart grow callous to gentle words of love. Learn to pause. Do not pause to procrastinate what you must do, but to hear more clearly the call from heaven, the voice of your Father, who is always speaking, always near, always ready to take your hand, even when you feel no one understands you. Sometimes a single moment of stillness is enough for you to realize that my sign never disappeared. It has been waiting for you to return, to open the eyes of faith, to set aside every doubt and see how that small light can turn the season of darkness within you. My child, do not imagine you must be perfect before you are worthy to receive my word. It is precisely in your imperfection that I can speak with greatest clarity, and because you are tender and easily wounded, I am all the more careful to send my whispers through the means closest to you. Yesterday it was a message. Today it may be a dream. Tomorrow it could be the sunlight breaking through your curtains at the very moment your hope is failing. Whatever the form, know this: none of my signs is random. Each carries a portion of my heart for you. Therefore, beloved, renew your mind each day and learn to listen not with your ears alone, but with your spirit. Be alert to small movements, and remember, haste is the enemy of revelation. As you learn to live unhurried enough to discern my voice, you will step into a deeper communion between us, and there nothing will be able to shake you. You will no longer fear missing anything, for you will be living in a living connection with me, the one who knows what you need, when you need it, and how best to give it. Believe that even if you miss a sign, my loving heart never misses a beat for you. I will come again, I will knock again, I will send rays of hope again, until your heart opens, until your eyes seek mine once more, and your heart beats in rhythm with my everlasting love. Now, my dear child, lift up your head and let your heart grow still. Do not let another day slip by in a haze. Be ready. What I am about to do in your life will begin with attentiveness, obedience, and a listening heart. I am here, and I am forever the one who knows how to bring all things back into their appointed time for the child who loves and seeks me with all their heart. My beloved child, there are movements deep within the spiritual realm that your natural eyes cannot perceive, yet your soul senses them in every restlessness, in every moment of unexplained unease. You may think that everything is still in order, that as long as you keep walking, all things will flow past like a quiet stream. But today I speak to you clearly and urgently that in the unseen realm where light and darkness intertwine, great battles are being waged on your behalf. Battles for your future, for the voice you carry, and for the light I placed within your heart before the foundations of the world. The enemy is working relentlessly, not merely to attack you through obvious means, but to wear down your mind, shake your faith, and disorient your spirit. It does not need to come with ferocity. It only needs to make you forget who it is that called you and who it is that fights for you in the heavens. My child, do not mistake my silence in a moment for inaction. Even when you think you are waiting in stillness, my angels are moving into battle for your soul. The smallest prayers, the groanings too deep for words, the silent tears that fall unnoticed, each one echoes in the heavens and is remembered by me. You are not fighting alone. In truth, the fiercest battles are being fought by heavenly armies you cannot see. And I, the one who protects you, the one who leads you, and the one who redeems you, am commanding every front, ensuring that the purpose I placed within you will not be stolen. But my beloved, there is something you must understand deeply, your attentiveness to. My voice in this very hour is not merely good, it is vital. In this moment, every word I whisper, every silent prompting in your heart, every urging to pray or to be still, is a strategic instruction in a spiritual war nearing its climax. If you choose to listen to my voice, you will know when to move, when to stand, and when to wait. You will not fall into the sweet trap of the enemy, for I will illuminate the path before you. But if you let yourself be swept away by the noise of this world, its busyness, its fears, its doubts, and its distorted definitions of worth, you will walk without realizing you are slowly drifting from my embrace. Do you know this, my child? Every word I whisper into your heart now is a beam of light, a hand pulling you toward life, an invisible shield deflecting the dark arrows aimed at you. Do not let familiarity make you take my presence for granted. Do not assume the absence of emotion means the absence of me. There will be times when you feel nothing, but that does not mean I am not working. On the contrary, when you feel least aware, it is often when I am working most powerfully in the silence, in the mystery, in the realm unseen by the eyes but made clear by faith. So, my child, keep your heart tender. Do not harden it against the gentle nudging of the Spirit. Long for my voice more than the affirmation of the world. Learn to be still so you may hear, learn to believe even before you see, and learn to walk even when the path is not yet clear. I know the days ahead will not always be easy, but I also know you were not created to fall. You were born to overcome, not by your own strength but by the power of the one who works on your behalf. I am your God, and no tactic of the enemy can outmatch the wisdom and love I have poured out for you. I saw the battle long before you were aware of it. I have sent angels to guard you, orchestrated divine appointments, to uplift your soul, and planted within you a seed of victory that will bloom in its season. But to behold these things, you must keep your heart close to mine. Place your trust in me, as a soldier trusts their commander amid the battlefield. Open your heart like a child, trust the voice of a father who loves without condition. My beloved child, what is unfolding in the heavenly realm will soon impact the visible world around you. Yet you do not need to tremble in fear, for I am the one who holds all things in my hands. Whatever the circumstances may be, remember this: above all, the attention you give to my voice today will determine whether you step into the future with confusion or with stability, with uncertainty or with triumph. Choose to listen to me, and you will see in the midst of battle peace remains. In the midst of disorientation, light still guides. And among countless voices, only one has the power to safeguard your soul, the voice of your Father who loves you with an everlasting love. My precious child, today, I do not speak in riddles, nor do I hide my words behind distant symbols. I come to speak with you clearly, directly, and with deep love. There is an urgent truth you must recognize. A battle is being waged, not with swords or explosions, but a silent yet fierce struggle. The battle for your attention, for your heart, and for your focus. Each day, the noises of the world cry out to capture you, the pressures, the expectations, the relentless news, the unseen comparisons, and even words that seem harmless yet drain your spirit. They strive to turn your gaze away from me, to anchor you in what is fleeting, and to blur the gentle voice of your Father that resounds deep within your soul. I do not seize your attention with clamor, for true love never forces itself. I am the one who whispers in stillness, the gentle breeze upon your spirit, the calm that rests in the storm. But my child, you must learn to discern. If you only chase what is loud and striking, you will miss what is profound. If you wait for grand signs, you will overlook the sweet invitations I place within the simplest of things. At times I do not speak through thunder or mighty wonders, but Through a verse you stumble upon a quiet nudge in your heart when you are weary, or a song that halts you and draws tears from your eyes. None of these moments are random. They are signs I use to guide your steps. They are the map I lay before you, the small stars shimmering in the dark night, to remind you that you are not lost and that I am closer than you realize. Do you know, child, that sometimes the greatest danger is not the raging storm but the subtle distraction? For your enemy does not always need to destroy you with calamity. It only needs to keep you too busy, too exhausted, too scattered to sit quietly with me. And when silence is stolen, clarity of my voice is lost as well. Yet I am still here, still waiting, still whispering what your heart needs to hear. The question is not whether I am speaking, but whether your heart has space to listen. I long to reveal to you so much good plans, wisdom, beyond understanding things. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has imagined. But I cannot entrust them to you if your gaze is turned elsewhere. Just as a sower cannot scatter seed upon soil filled with rocks, I need your heart to be tender, ready, and hungry for my presence above all else. My beloved child, never underestimate the small signs. Do not think that only the grand gestures come from me. It is often in the smallest moments that I conceal myself to see who truly seeks after me. When you pause in the middle of a busy day just to whisper a prayer, that is when you push back an entire field of darkness. When you open my word even while weary, that is when angels are dispatched to guard you. When you choose forgiveness over resentment, love over a closed heart, that is when you step closer to the eternal purpose I have already written for your life. Every act you make in obedience carries weight and opens a new path through what once seemed like barren wilderness. My beloved child, I know there are times when you ask yourself, is the Lord really speaking, or am I only imagining? And today I say to you, yes, I am speaking. I am still watching over you. I am still placing before your eyes signs of grace, of love, of guidance. The question is not whether the signs exist, but whether your heart still longs for them, whether it remains sensitive and willing to trust in my gentle leading. For you cannot hear my voice if your soul has been numbed by the noise of the world. That is why I invite you back into stillness. That is why I remind you to slow down, to lift your head, to listen, and to believe that if I am the one who created the universe, yet still care for each strand of hair on your head, then nothing I do in your life is ever by accident. So pay attention, my child. Let your mind be cleansed daily by my word. Let your heart remain tender before the presence of my Spirit. Do not dismiss the gentle stirrings within, for they may be the very beginning of a great miracle. Remember, this peace does not come from having every circumstance in order, but from knowing with certainty that you are on the right path, guided by the Father of life. And as you walk in attentiveness and obedience, you will not only avoid the snares set against you, but you will also step into the fulfillment and abundance I prepared for you since the foundation of the world. I love you. And I will not cease to whisper until you recognize that among all the voices of life, only one has the power to give life, the voice of your Father. My precious one, in those weary moments when you feel too weak to pray or even too drained to hope, I am still there, quiet yet steadfast, never taking my eyes off you. I know there are things in your life that unsettle you, questions without immediate answers, paths you must walk though they seem dark beneath your trembling feet. But it is in this very uncertainty that I call you to step into the one unshakable truth in this world: trust in me. Not the trust that comes when everything is easy, but the trust that remains when you do not understand. Trust when there is no light at the end of the road. Trust when every answer seems delayed without reason. Trust when your heart feels empty, weak, and has nothing to offer but a sigh. I do not demand that you be strong when you cannot. I do not expect a flawless faith without doubt. I do not require you to pretend peace when your soul is troubled. What I long for is an honest heart, a heart that even trembling dares to say, Father, I do not understand, but I still believe. It is in that place when you stop striving and rest in me, when you choose to fall into my arms, instead of carrying the weight yourself, that my power is revealed in its fullness. For my strength is made perfect in your weakness. I do not need you to prove anything. I only want you to believe that I am the one who will carry you when you cannot walk on your own. Beloved child, There are signs I have already given, perhaps through a dream, a whisper, within an inexplicable coincidence, or even a faint stirring in your spirit. These signs are not only answers to your prayers for health, for immediate needs, or for the desires you hold. They are confirmations from heaven itself that your life carries a destiny greater than you have ever dared to imagine. A mission was written over your life before you ever existed. A holy purpose was planted deep within your soul, and because of that, the enemy has noticed. He knows that if you awaken, if you rise, if you step into that calling with courage and faith, then hell itself will tremble. That is why he works tirelessly to sow doubt, to wear you down, to make you feel worthless, to convince you that everything you do is meaningless. But today I come to shatter every lie. I declare that your breakthrough is closer than you think. It is not waiting at the end of a long, endless road. It is being formed right in the battle you are facing. It is present in the very moment you choose not to give up. You do not need to see the entire plan, you only need to remain faithful with the next step. Each decision to hold on to faith, each prayer, even if whispered weakly, each time you rise instead of collapsing all of it, is building the path toward your breakthrough. My beloved child, do not lose your courage. Do not let momentary disappointments cause you to surrender an eternal victory. What you are fighting today is only temporary. It is part of the process preparing you for something greater. The victory I have prepared for you is not based on achievements, not on abilities, but on my everlasting love and your simple trust. There will be moments when you feel nothing, but remember, this absence of feeling does not mean absence of presence. Not seeing immediate results does not mean your prayers are in vain. Every moment you choose to trust is one step closer to what I have destined for you. I have seen the tears you have swallowed in silence. I have heard the words you did not dare to voice. And I know there are times you just want to give up, not because you do not love me, but because you are weary. Yet, my child, this is not the time to stop. This is the moment to stand firm. This is the season when the enemy screams the loudest, not because you are losing, but because you are about to win. As you draw nearer to breakthrough, the darkness often thickens, but never forget, the darkest part of the night comes just before the dawn. Therefore, my beloved, do not give up. Do not let go. Do not close your eyes to the signs I place before you each day. Keep walking step by step, with faith, with hope, and with the assurance that I am your healer. I am the one who upholds you. I am the one who carries you through the paths you cannot walk on your own. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen, marked by heaven, protected by my mighty hand, and called to live a life fulfilled in eternal purpose. My beloved child, there is something profound and vital I need you to hear with your whole heart today. It is not merely about your physical health or the material circumstances around you. Though I care for those, they are not the deepest concern of my heart. What I long for most is your heart, for it is the wellspring of life, the place where thoughts, decisions, emotions, and even the image you hold of yourself are formed. I do not only look at what you do, your successes or failures, your efforts or mistakes. I look at who you truly are, with every weakness, wound, and fragility, alongside the pure beauty I placed in you from the beginning. And I want you to know this as an unchanging truth: you are loved deeply and eternally, not because you have earned it, but because you belong to me. You are my child. Not temporarily, not based on fleeting feelings, but in an everlasting covenant no one can break. My love for you does not shift with moods, does not waver with behavior. It is not like human love, fragile under mistakes or bound by conditions. My love is the unshakable foundation upon which you can rebuild yourself each time you fall. Even if the world turns away, even if human hearts change, I remain the one who has held your hand from the beginning, and I will never let go until the very end. My dear child, the enemy knows well the immeasurable worth you hold in the eyes of your Father, and because of that, he will do everything possible to make you forget it. He does not always need to drive you into great sin. He only needs to cloud your understanding of your true identity. If even for a moment you believe that you are worthless, unloved, or not enough, he has already robbed you of the most precious treasure, your awareness of the sacred identity your Father has given you. He will use the words of others to pierce your heart circumstances, to make you feel abandoned, and memories to stir doubt about the love of your Father. But beloved child, hear me. Clearly, do not let him steal your identity. You are mine. You are chosen by me. You are loved not when you have something to boast of, but even when you stand in the light of success and when you have nothing at all to offer. You are my beloved, not as a mere symbol, but as a truth sealed by the love poured out on the cross. No one, no force, no failure, no voice can erase that reality. You are my treasure not because the world sees you as rare, but because you are the unique masterpiece woven together by my power and my love. You may feel ordinary, but you are the divine thought of your Creator. You may think you are lost, yet I have never ceased to search for you. You may believe you are not good enough, but I never chose you because of your goodness. I chose you because of my love, and because you belong to me, no weapon formed against you shall prevail. Not because you are strong, but because I am your fortress. Not because you know how to defend yourself, but because you live under my almighty protection. No matter how fierce the battle becomes, no matter how thick the darkness, no matter how loud the lies that echo in your mind at night, I remain there as a wall of strength surrounding you. The enemy may stalk, but he cannot touch what I have sealed. No one can snatch you from my hand, for my hand does not tremble, does not loosen, does not let go. Child, do not measure yourself by the world's standards, and do not let the enemy's accusations blur the truth. Each time you feel weak, remember I still call you beloved. Each time you feel unworthy, remember I have never loved you for worthiness, but with unconditional love. Each time you feel small, remember within you rests a mission far greater than what the eye can see. So lift your head, beloved child. Let your heart be warmed by this truth. You are not forgotten, not misjudged, not defined by what you have been through. You are defined by what I declare, and I declare that you are my child. Nothing can change that. No matter how you feel today, no matter what others think, this truth remains unshaken. You are my beloved, my joy, the treasure I guard with care. And if you take hold of this truth and walk in this light, nothing, absolutely nothing can bring you down. For you stand on a foundation that cannot be shaken. My eternal love for you. Beloved child, today I call you not with threats or with anger, but with the tender love of a father who has seen every step you have taken, every tear you have shed, every whispered prayer you thought no one heard. I come to remind you of something that may seem small, yet is essential to your journey of faith. Pay attention to the signs I send you. They are not random, not accidental, not coincidences, dismissed by the world. These signs are gentle knocks at the door of your heart, small lights in the night, gentle touches of heaven upon your weary soul. For generations I have revealed my love through tender warnings. I have spoken through prophets, through dreams, through scripture, through events, and even through silence, not to punish but to awaken. Yet for generations many have turned away, drowned in the noise of the world, losing their spiritual sensitivity and tasting the sorrow of regret when they ignored my voice. Not because I did not love them, but because true love never coerces. And today I call you earnestly, gently, yet firmly, do not ignore my signs, beloved child. I know you are living in a world that never stops moving, where every sound competes for your attention. From the noise of constant news, the weight of society's expectations, to the whispers of fear in your mind each night, all of it clouds your ability to discern the true voice of your Father. You are not deliberately drifting away from me, but distractions often carry you out of my embrace, without you even realizing it. These voices may sound reasonable, they may seem urgent, but if you do not pause and discern, you will miss the divine visions I am quietly whispering into your heart. My heart is not unmoved by the trials you face. On the contrary, it beats in rhythm with your own fragile heartbeat. I hear your cries in the midnight hours, I see your tears when no one else is near, and I touch the deepest places of your soul that no one else can comprehend. Yet within that love I also see what you cannot, the dangers drawing near the crossroads, requiring discernment, the decisions that without my guidance could easily lead you astray. This is why I continually send signs like pillars of fire by night, like clouds by day, like the gentle persuasion of the Spirit within your soul. My beloved, do not wait until everything collapses before seeking my voice. Learn to listen while your heart is still at rest. Focus on what I am saying instead of only asking for what you want to hear. Some signs come through a stranger's timely word, a sermon that plays unexpectedly, a dream you do not yet understand, or a sudden stirring within your spirit. These are not mere imaginations. They are the ways I protect you, guard you from snares, and lead you into the path I have prepared for your life. And if you are willing to open your heart to pause in the rush of life, you will realize that I have never stopped speaking. I know you long to grow. I know there is a yearning in you to please me, to walk in the light, and to discover the deeper meaning of your life. That is also my desire. But growth in faith does not come merely from hearing instruction. It comes from obeying in practice. It comes from choosing to trust my word over the voice of fear. It comes from following my signs, even when they are not always easy to understand. For true love is always joined with discipline. And I, as a good father, will not cease teaching you until you walk in wisdom, humility, and spiritual strength. Therefore, my precious child, set aside time for stillness. Make room for the Spirit to move within your heart. Do not allow your soul to be so crowded that you can no longer hear heaven's gentle knock. The signs I send are not meant to frighten you, but to guide you into the promised land. They are expressions of providential love, a call to return, a glimmer of light, showing the way through the darkest night. And if you let your heart learn to be sensitive, you will see every day there is something from me, a reminder, an encouragement, a warning sent as a gift from above. I do not want you to live in fear, nor do I want you to walk in spiritual blindness. I want you to be awake, for true love not only comforts but also warns. And when you learn to listen, to discern, and to obey, you will not only avoid dangerous paths, but you will also step into the new season. I have prepared a season where peace, blessing, and eternal purpose await you. My beloved child, there is one thing I earnestly desire for you to remember, not with fear, but with a tender awareness of my love. I do not want you to repeat the mistakes of those who came before. They were warned, they were guided, they were reminded, yet, because they did not listen deeply enough, did not trust enough, and were not sensitive enough to perceive my presence in the ordinary, they missed the divine moments I had set for their lives. And my child, I do not want that for you. For you are the one I have chosen, the one bearing a mission, a vision, and a path that no one else can walk in your place. I remain the unchanging God. From everlasting to everlasting, I am faithful. I do not contradict myself in what I speak, nor act haphazardly in what I do. Though times change, technology advances, and people grow busier, I remain the one who uses every means to reveal my love and guidance to those who belong to me. I am still speaking, still working, still leading you, not only in the moments you kneel in prayer or step into a church, but in the very rhythm of your daily life, in the simple things you might easily overlook. Situation that startles you into self-reflection. It may even be a dream that feels vague, yet awakens something sacred deep within your soul. My child, none of these are coincidences. They are my way of speaking to you, not through noise and spectacle, but with subtlety, depth, and power. Have you noticed how sometimes while scrolling through your phone, you suddenly pause at an ordinary post, yet one sentence compels you to read it again and again? Have you ever heard a song play in the crowd, and though it may mean nothing to others, it softens your heart as if something were whispering directly to you? Have you ever received a short message but felt as though it was I, myself, reminding you that you are not alone? All of these things, small as they may seem, not shouted from a pulpit, not wrapped in grandeur, carry the imprint of my hand. I do not confine myself within the bounds of religious forms. I am the God of living relationship. And when you earnestly seek me, you will discover me woven into your everyday life in places so ordinary that without sensitivity you would miss the most sacred treasures. Beloved child, train your spirit to become more attuned. Do not confine my voice to a scheduled prayer time or formal gathering. Open your heart to hear me in every moment, when you walk along the road, when you wash dishes, when you work, or when you simply sit in silence. I am the one who knows your every habit, your hidden thoughts, your unspoken emotions. And because I know them, I also know how to speak in a way and at a moment when you will recognize me. But here lies the question. Are you listening? Do you believe that I am present, even in the smallest details of your life? The enemy always wants you to believe that I am distant, that the spiritual realm only breaks in during visibly holy moments, and that the stirrings of your heart are nothing more than fleeting emotions. But these are lies. The closer you draw to me, the more you will see that I am not far off. I am here in every detail, every breath, every sensation. I use all things, even those you call ordinary, to touch your soul and to remind you that you are seen, loved, and guided. And once you begin to recognize this, your life will cease to feel like a meaningless string of days. It will become a purposeful journey, where every step, every glance, every encounter is an opportunity to experience me. So, my child, pay attention. Do not rush through life so quickly that you miss my gentle whisper. Do not seek me only in grand miracles, but look for me in the trembling of a leaf, in the melody of a song, in the words spoken almost by chance. I am speaking constantly, and my heart overflows with things I long to share with you. Not to condemn, but to guide. Not to accuse, but to love. Not to press you into rigid patterns, but to lead you into the free, steadfast, and abundant life I have prepared for you. Believe this, you are not overlooked. Each day carries a message from me to you. The question is not whether I am speaking, but whether your heart is open enough to listen. And if today you choose to pause for a moment, to return with a childlike heart to notice the seemingly insignificant details, you will realize I have never stopped loving you, never stopped speaking to you, never stopped leading you step by step with the tender care of a father who never changes. My beloved child, I am patient, full of mercy, slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love. Yet I, the one who loves you with an everlasting love, also desire from you a heart that obeys quickly and completely. For true love is not only gentle nurture, but also wise correction that strengthens you and keeps you from stumbling through your own hesitation. I know you have prayed, have pleaded for my guidance, for clarity, for light in your hardest decisions. I have heard every word, every cry, every question whispered through tears or silence. And because I hear, I also speak clearly, graciously, but with firmness. Yet my child, my guidance, does not always repeat itself. Some opportunities I place before you are like a passing breeze, like the dawn's light that lasts but a moment, like a door opening among countless shut ones. And if you do not enter in time, you may miss what I had already prepared for you. Delaying obedience is not a harmless choice. Often just one moment of hesitation can cause you to lose an entire season of blessing. Not because I punish you, but because the world you live in is bound by time, and every moment that passes can carry consequences you never anticipated. I do not expect you to become a perfect person, but I long for you to be discerning and trusting. Discerning enough to recognize when my spirit stirs within your heart, even if it comes as nothing more than a gentle nudge, a quiet prompting, or an indistinct reminder. And trusting enough to take a step forward, even when you cannot yet see the whole picture. For true faith does not wait until everything is clear before acting. True faith is hearing my voice and obeying even when you do not yet hold all the answers. You often ask me, Father, which is the right path, and I have shown you. Perhaps it is through a verse of scripture that echoes at just the right moment. Perhaps it is through a sermon that pierces your spirit. Perhaps it is through a heartfelt piece of counsel from someone who loves me. Or perhaps it is simply through an unusual peace that rests on you in the middle of confusion, a sign I send, so you may know this is the way, walk in it. But my child, if you keep asking again and again without a heart willing to move, then your prayer can become a weary cycle where you think you are seeking me, yet in truth you are delaying what I have already made clear. I do not force you, but I invite you as a father who sees ahead what you cannot. I see both the promised land and the snares along the road. I know which opportunities will carry you closer to your destiny, and which choices will pull you away from your true purpose. That is why when I speak, it is not to control, but to protect. When I prompt you, it is not to rush you, but to keep you from consequences that, if you could see them beforehand, you would never hesitate to avoid. At times you think I will wait a little longer until things are clearer, then I will obey. But my beloved, the greatest clarity does not come from the evidence you search for outside, but from the trust you cultivate within. When I speak, the truest certainty is my very voice. And when you obey, even with just one small step, you will begin to see doors open, divine alignments unfold, and the path becoming clearer with each stride. But if you wait for everything to be perfect before beginning, you may wait a lifetime and never find that ideal moment. For obedience does not require favorable circumstances, it only asks for a heart that trusts me enough to walk in what I have spoken. My dear one, learn to respond quickly to my voice, not out of fear, but out of love. Learn to say yes even when your heart trembles, for courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward despite it when your trust is in me. Be attentive to the signs, be bold in responding to the promptings, and regard obedience as the deepest act of worship. For the sooner you obey, the sooner you step into what I have ordained. And there, in surrender, you will find true peace, abundant provision, and doors opening that no one can shut. I never grow weary of you, but I grieve when I see you delaying the very goodness I desire to give. You do not need to know everything. You only need to know this: I love you, and what I speak is always good for you. So today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart, do not hesitate, do not let fear govern your decisions. Rise up, act, and move forward, for every passing moment is shaping the destiny I have prepared. My beloved child, there is one profound truth I want you to fully grasp today, something many have overlooked when they focused only on duty and outward form, forgetting the essence of it all. I do not seek mechanical obedience, but a living relationship with you. I am not a ruler who sits on a throne merely to issue commands and wait for you to perform them like a lifeless servant. I am your Father, the one who loves, who understands, who longs to walk with you in every moment, every breath. And it is out of this deep desire to be with you, to love you, to share life with you, that I invite you to draw near. My child, I do not only desire that you obey what I say, but I long to see whether you are truly trusting in me, leaning upon me, and yearning for my presence as a child longs for the warm voice of a father in the night. The relationship I seek cannot be measured by the number of good deeds you complete, nor by the repetition of religious rituals, but by the connection of two hearts, between father and child, between the Creator and the one fashioned by love. I want you to learn how to hear my voice, not only when I speak loudly and clearly, but also when I whisper softly. Just as the sheep know the voice of their shepherd, I desire that you become so familiar with me that even the slightest stirring in your spirit lets you recognize it is I. It is not because I hide myself from you, but because true love often clothes itself in humility. And only when you genuinely seek, earnestly wait, and willingly make time to listen, will you realize that I have always been speaking unceasingly, tirelessly, and without giving up. Beloved, in a world filled with noise, it is so easy for you to be swept away in the rush of life until you no longer notice my presence in the simplest of things. But true relationship is not born from loud moments. It springs forth from the stillness of the soul, where you are willing to pause, to set aside all worries, expectations, and definitions of what perfect faith should look like, so that only one thing remains: you and your Father, bound by unconditional love, without barriers and without limits. I do not seek grand ceremonies. I seek a single glance lifted in faith. I do not require you to memorize every commandment before you can taste my love. I only long to hear a whispered prayer: Father, I need you. And the very moment those words leave your lips, I am there, not from afar, but from very near, for I have never left you, only waiting for you to notice my presence. I yearn to see you pursue me, not as someone chasing a reward, but as a child running into the embrace of love. For when the relationship deepens, obedience no longer feels like a burden, but becomes a joy. When you truly love someone, you are not forced to do what is right. You choose it because of love. In the same way, I do not desire that you obey me out of fear, but out of trust. Not because of pressure, but because of the living bond that grows day by day between you and me. My child, I am teaching you not with harshness or force, but with the patience of a father who longs for his child to mature in intimacy. At times I am silent, not because I have gone away, but because I want you to learn to seek. At times I whisper, not to test you, but to deepen the sensitivity of your spirit. For the more you learn to recognize me in the small things, the easier it will be for you to walk with me in the greater things. I believe in you not because you are perfect, but because I know you were created with a unique ability to connect with me. And there is no greater gift in the spiritual life than when a child knows how to listen to his Father's voice. For when you can hear, you will know how to walk. When you know how to walk with me, you will not lose your way. And when you do not lose your way, you will enter into the fullness I have prepared for you, where you are not only a receiver but a bearer of light, of love, and of my presence into places where darkness still reigns. Therefore, my beloved child, do not come to me only because you need something. Come to me because you know I love you. Learn to wait for the softest whisper. Let your heart be still enough not to miss the gentle knock from heaven. For I am right here, not distant, not cold, but near, tender and full of encouragement. And in the true relationship between father and child, you will not only find guidance, but also discover your true identity, your peace, and your deepest joy, things this world can never replace. I love you, and I am always waiting for the response of your heart. My beloved child, in the midst of a world filled with noise, chaos, and countless crossroads that so easily weary your heart and pull your mind into many distractions, I call you to pause, not to delay your steps, but to realign your heart. Take time to reflect and to pray, for it is in that stillness where you will hear my voice most clearly. Do not allow busyness to blur the sacred connection between you and me. Let every moment of quiet become a place where your soul is healed, your mind is cleansed, and your faith is renewed. My child, I have sent you signs, not just once, but many times. They are hidden in details that seem small: a glance, a word, a dream, a melody, or even a gentle stirring within your spirit. Yet I know that at times, because of the pressures of life and the clamor of competing voices in your mind, you have missed these directions. This is not a rebuke, my dear one, but an invitation from my heart. Return and ask me to open your eyes so you may see what I have already revealed. For I never cease to speak, but I long for you to listen with a heart that seeks. I am not the one who sows confusion or casts you into darkness. On the contrary, I am the God of clarity, of light, of order, and of peace. Wherever I am, there is direction, even in the night. When you seek me with all your heart, not out of fear, but out of true desire, you will find me, not as a distant idea, but as a father who draws near, takes your hand, and leads you step by step. I do not hide myself from you. I do not test you with meaningless silence. Everything I do, everything I allow, carries a purpose, and that purpose is for you to grow, to become stronger, and to go deeper in your relationship with me. I know there are signs that unsettle you when they appear. They are not always comfortable. Sometimes they call you out of your safe place. Sometimes they require you to letting go of control of old habits, of personal plans, in order to follow what I am pointing to. They may stretch your limits, take you into unfamiliar ground, or confront the hidden fears you have long avoided. But, my beloved child, do not shrink back. These signs, even when they look like trials, are born out of love. For true love not only comforts, but also teaches. It not only soothes, but shapes. It does not simply shelter you in safety, but carries you into the destiny you were created to enter. Remember this: each time you choose to trust me, even without full understanding, you open the door for miracles. Every step of obedience draws you closer to the glory I have destined for your life. That glory is not about recognition in the eyes of the world, but about the radiance of a soul transformed, healed, and guided with every breath. As you walk with me, you will come to see that nothing is random, no waiting is wasted, and no sign is without meaning. Everything I do has its appointed time. And when that time comes, you will understand why. I held you back in one moment, urged you forward in another, let you wait, and taught you to walk slowly. Therefore, my precious child, do not seek perfection in everything around you before you obey. Learn to trust me when all is not yet clear. Ask me to sharpen your spirit so you will not miss the visions opening before your eyes. Let me be the compass within you, the one who leads you through the fog, through the storms, and into the place where the light never fades. My child, I love you not because you understand everything, but because you dare to believe. Not because you are strong, but because you dare to lean on me. Not because you obey perfectly, but because you keep returning, keep yearning, keep crying out, Father, please show me. And that is the prayer I am always ready to answer. For I never turn away a heart that truly seeks me. So today, if you feel lost, do not be discouraged. Return to me, pause, bow your head and say, Father, please open my eyes, and I will. I will shine light upon the path before you. I will reveal to you the signs you have overlooked. I will turn your uncertainty into confidence and your confusion into clarity. There is only one thing you must do. Seek me with all your heart. The rest I will accomplish. For I am your Father, the faithful one, the light that never fades in the long night of your life. And my glory, you will see it in the very midst of your ordinary days, sanctified by my presence. My beloved child, listen closely, for this moment marks a divine turning point in your spiritual journey. I am calling you to step into a higher place, not only in outward actions, but more deeply in awareness and inward obedience. You have walked with me in the early stages, but now I do not only desire you to walk beside me as a child. I call you to walk as one who has grown in faith, one who can discern the gentle movements of the Spirit, one who does not wait only for thunderous voices from heaven, but who perceives the small yet powerful signs I place quietly along your path. My child, the days ahead may not always be easy. There may be trials. There may be moments when you are pushed beyond your comfort zone, when you no longer feel certain about what is right or what is needed. But take courage, for I myself have prepared the way for you. The road may not always be straight, it may not be strewn with roses, but it is a path marked by my guidance, my protection, and my love upon each step you take. I have been and still am using signs to illuminate your way, not through noise or clamor, but in my own way, subtle, gentle, profound, and deliberate. Pay attention to the stirrings deep within your soul, the sudden impulses you cannot explain yet cannot ignore. At times it is a scripture verse that leaps from the page as you pass your eyes over it. At times it is a word spoken by someone that pierces your heart, though they themselves are unaware they are my messenger. Do not dismiss these things. They are not coincidences. They are the movements of my Spirit, quiet yet unmistakable in your life. My beloved, spiritual maturity does not come from knowing much, but from how you respond to what you know. Signs carry no weight if you are unwilling to act on them. True obedience is not found in comfortable feelings, but in action, the action of walking forward, even when understanding is incomplete, the action of choosing trust, even when uncertainty surrounds you. I am leading you step by step, and each step of trust unlocks new light for the next one. This is how I shape you, not to depend on circumstances, but to depend on the living relationship between you and me. Keep your heart tender to my guidance. Do not let familiarity blind you to the new things I am doing. Do not seek me only in the thunder, but learn to recognize me in the whisper. My Spirit does not always move in the same patterns, yet He is always faithful in His nature. When your heart remains sensitive, you will realize that what you once called coincidence is in truth a finely woven thread in a greater tapestry of love that I have designed for you, arranged with precision and perfect timing. My child, you are not alone in this journey. Even if others do not understand what you feel, even if the world dismisses it as imagination, I know, I see, and I encourage every step of faith you choose to take. There may be moments when you doubt yourself, but never doubt my love or my guidance. If you can still hear my voice, if you still long to walk with me, then you are on the right path, even if the steps feel slow and uncertain. Therefore, beloved one, do not rush, but do not linger either. Walk in obedience and alertness. Let every experience become a classroom for your soul, where you learn discernment, where you learn to listen, and where you learn to respond quickly and trustingly to the Spirit. And day by day you will realize that it is within the very trials, the unnoticed whispers, and the fragile impressions that I am working more powerfully than ever before. And in the end, when you look back, you will see something wondrous. No sign was meaningless, no act of obedience was wasted, and no step taken with me failed to lead into glory. This glory is not the fleeting recognition admired by the world, but the eternal light revealed in your very life, a life that listens, responds, and walks in the breath of the Spirit. That, my child, is what delights me above all. I am here, and I am still calling you step by step, day by day, into a higher level of faith, of awareness, and of glorious obedience. Amen. Follow and turn on notifications so you will not miss the words I am speaking from heaven above. Amen.